For this demonstration, I'll securely connect to a to-go server located in Frankfurt, that will then connect other application servers located in the US, UK, and Ireland. I'm personally based in Atlanta in the southeast of the US, and, while for the most part, users would likely connect to servers located in the same country, I thought it would be helpful to demonstrate what it's like to connect to systems that are all over the world. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to launch to go on my mobile device. Based on my profile, and what I've selected as my favorite application, To Go will securely connect to a To Go server and auto-launch the top favorite application. In this case, it's a Java-based ERP application that has lots of customization in it. And for the record, it's based in the UK. We'll come back to this application in a minute. First, let's talk about the toolbar. The toolbar is intelligent, and will auto-close itself to give me full screen control of the application that I'm using. However, it can also be pinned to the screen and stay available should the user prefer. The toolbar is readily available by a swipe from the left. So, let's start with the Applications button. Here are all the applications that I've been granted access to and which are available to me. I can simply swipe up and down to identify and then launch any specific one. Let's quickly open up a series of different applications. Some of these are pretty significant applications that normally require lots of horsepower to run. They may be Flash-based applications, Java applications, Silverlight, and so on. To date, we have yet to have an application that we couldn't run with To Go. They can also be full-featured Office applications. Now, let's say that there is one application in particular that I would like to have, and be available to me as part of my favorites. To make that application one of my favorites, I simply long press on the application icon, and then tap Add to Favorites. You'll see that going forward, a star will be appended to any application icon that I've selected as a favorite. Here, in my favorite applications, I can affect the order of this list. When the To Go application initially launched, you may remember it launched the same ERP application which is top of this list. Any application that is put at the top of the list will be the one that To Go automatically starts when it initiates. If I want a different application to run at startup, I simply long press on the application icon and move it up to the top of the list. Additionally, if I want to remove any application from my favorites, when I long press, I can select to remove it. Since we began, I've been opening up a series of different applications and I might need to quickly go back to something that I previously had open. Here, with the History button, I can see a list of all the applications that I've connected to. They are listed in descending order, with the most recent at the top. To quickly go to any application, I simply select it and there I am back where I left off. This is very useful where I need to jump between multiple enterprise applications. Let's talk about the buttons located at the top of the bar. On certain applications, it's helpful to be able to move forward or backwards within the application. Web-based applications are a good example. Here, I'm navigating through a document management system and opening up Flash-based reports. I can use the forward or back button to navigate. At this point, I should probably explain some of the gestures we have available. Although the button bar is quite helpful, To Go recognizes and uses a whole series of optional gestures. For example, just like I can use the forward or back buttons, I can do the same thing by just swiping with 2 fingers to the left or to the right. If I'm in an application where pinching and zooming would be helpful, I can use 2 fingers to zoom into something for more detail and then pan around. Some applications have entire menu options that are available by using a right click. With To Go you simply tap with 2 fingers and then select where you would like that menu. In this case, perhaps it would be helpful to have this data in Excel. If I need to select something to drag it around the screen, I can simply tap and hold and then move it around just like I normally would. If I need to select a whole section of text, or cells in Excel, I just tap and drag my finger to select the cells. Again, if I want to have a right-click menu, I tap using 2 fingers and then touch anywhere I want that menu. Let's copy and paste these cells further down that spreadsheet. As you can see, I'm also using pinch and zoom, as much or as little as I need, to make things easy and effortless. Let me show you a few more examples of how gestures work. I'm going to go back to the ERP application and open up a purchase order window. When using some of the new gestures, it can be helpful to turn on the Show Gestures setting. With this setting turned on, it will map out and display any gestures that I draw on the screen. If the gesture that I draw is not one To-Go recognizes, it will mark that gesture in red. For example, I'll scribble on my screen with my finger. See, it's red. However, if I do a checkmark gesture, symbolizing that I'm done with this window, then To-Go will recognize that gesture, mark it in blue and close it. The checkmark gesture is particularly helpful when working with various enterprise applications that spawn lots of windows or screens. To-Go uses the gestures, whether the Show Gestures is turned on or off in the settings. There's a whole library of gestures that are available to users, and they can be found within the settings page. Now let's talk about the keyboard button. The keyboard button can actually be quite powerful. Yes, it can open up the standard device keyboard, but often, we need something even more powerful. Let's say, for example, within an ERP application, we're accustomed to using function keys, or multiple key combinations such as Shift and Control. For users who can benefit from a more comprehensive keyboard, they can turn on the additional To-Go keyboards to support them. To make these keyboards available to you, you'll simply need to enable them on the device. To do this, go to the device settings, choose General, then Keyboard, tap Keyboards and then Add New Keyboard. You will see that you'll be able to select To-Go here. In this case, I'll enable the US keyboard. When I go back to To-Go, I can return to the ERP application where I left off, but now when I bring up the keyboard, I will have the new keyboard I made available. I can quickly call up my purchase control requisition by pressing F4, even multiple command keys can be used here. To toggle back to the standard iOS keyboard, I can simply press the small globe icon next to the spacebar. In future, I can bring up the To-Go keyboard by pressing the same button. It isn't always necessary to use the toolbar to call up the keyboard. I can easily toggle the keyboard on and off by using a two-finger double tap anywhere on the screen. Let's say that I'm on the road, and I want to enter in some details to an order page. If I were in the office, I would quickly type the details on my PC. But now that I'm on the road, can I be just as functional? Yes. Keyboards are available for me on my device. But wouldn't it be easier if I could just simply dictate my notes directly into my order entry system? To-Go lets me do just that by integrating voice recognition to my enterprise application. Please ensure that this order is rushed and notify Frank Burden upon shipment. I can easily jump from application to application, where I can quickly enter in any details and notes. Hopefully this demonstration has shown you some of the features that To-Go can help you with navigating and working with your applications on the move.